In these examples, there are three examples here in this: 20% of 60, 40% of 70, and 50% of 90. Now, in these examples, none of our totals are 100 or a multiple of 100. They are less than 100. So what we need to do is use our thinking from earlier in the video and put our thinking together. So the first one is 20% of 60. So here is a 100s chart. The only problem is I don't have 100. So I need to make sure that my diagram matches the total. So 60 is the same as 6 tens. 1 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. So I've got to cut it off here. So here's my diagram that matches my 60. There are 60, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now, 20% normally means, change my color, 20 parts per 100. However, as I said, we don't have 100. We don't have it. We have less. So remember back, 20 parts also means 2 parts per 10. Now look at my diagram. I've got the first 10, 2 parts are shaded in. Next 10, 2 parts. Third 10, 2 parts. Fourth 10, 2 parts. Fifth 10, 2 parts. And the sixth 10, 2 parts. So what I can do is, I've got 6 tens. So 6 times 2. 2 parts for each 10. I've got 12. So my answer is 12. 20% of 60 is 12. My next example. As I said, we need to make sure that our diagram fits the actual equation. So we need to make sure our diagram has only 70 parts, not the 100. So here it is. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. The first thing we know about a percent, 40% means 40 parts per 100. It also means, because we don't have 100, we're lower than 100, we need to figure out in the tens. We also know it means 4 parts per 10. How many tens do we have? We have 7 tens. And we multiply that by 4. Now you'll notice that I don't write tens. I'm actually writing how many tens I have. I have 7. 7 times by 4 is 28. Now let's have a look. 40% of 70 is 28. Let's check my diagram to see. My first 10 has 4 shaded in. Next 10, 4, that's 8. Third 10, so that's 30. That's 12 shaded in total. Fourth 10, there's another 4 shaded in, so that's 16. Fifth, sixth, and seventh all have 1, 2, 3, 4 shaded in per 10. All in total, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So 40% of 70 is 28. Let's have a look at our last example. Now, as I said before, our example here is 90. It is less than 100. So our diagram will need to show only 90 parts. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And we're trying to find 50%. Now, I understand you will most likely be able to do this in your head because you know 50% means half. Because 50% is half of 100%. Good proportional thinking there. However, we're going to go through the steps anyway. So 50% means 50 parts per 100. Now, since we do not have 100, or a multiple of 100, we need to say it also means 5 parts per 10. Because 5 is still half of 10, 50 is part of half of 100, so we can see the proportions here. If we've got 5 parts per 10, we've shaded them in. I've done that before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes all the way down. We're going to have And how many 10s do we have? We have 9 10s in total. And we multiply that by 5 because we've shaded in 5 per 10. And we're going to get 45. We can add these, we can count them out. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Or you know your multiplication times tables. Keep watching for another couple of examples. Okay, our last two examples. We're going to try find 60% of 30 and 80% of 20. What we need to do, like our other examples, we need to make sure that we have our diagram to match. Now that's 30 in total. So we have 30 pens, 30 chocolates, 30 anything you want. So we need to make sure our diagram shows 30. Here's my diagram. It's a lot smaller than the other ones, isn't it? So 10, 20, 30. And we're trying to find 60%. So we know that 60% means 60 parts per 100. But we also know since we don't have 100, we need to go 6 parts per 10. Our proportional thinking, remember, it's a multiple of 10. So 6 parts per 10, we've got 3 10s, and each 10 is shaded in 6. So 60%, 3 times 6 is 18. So 60% of 30 is 18. 6, 12, 18. All right, our last example. We've got a total of 20. So our diagram needs to show 20. Here it is. It's quite a small number compared to the rest. And we need to make sure that we write our steps out. 80% means 80 parts per 100. So parts per 100. Or it can mean, and since we don't have 100, it means 8 parts per 10. Now I hope you're seeing a pattern here. It's a multiple of 10 every single time. If you didn't see that pattern, go back and rewind. See if you saw that pattern, a multiple of 10. So 8 parts per 10, we have 2 10s, and each 10 is shaded in 8 parts. So therefore, 80% of 20 is 16. Now let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 parts are shaded in, and there are 2 10s, 8, 16. It looks like we've got our right answer.